I don't know why there was the other camera. Hey,
Hi, it's
I
been
see
ages. What? Oh my
too
God.
much. I was, yes, I got your first notification,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know what happened. I couldn't. So I thought I'm going to jump in myself because
Oh,
I feel like at home.
oh my
How
God.
are you?
Good. Oh, a lot has been happening since we've been doing lives. It has been almost 6 months. Yeah.
More than that. It's been like 15 years.
Oh my.
What months?
It feels like Halloween has brought us together again. Oh, Halloween, the joy.
Absolutely. Exactly. It's like Christmas for normal people.
I usually see you.
You have a lot of news.
I do. I do.
Mm,
I do have a lot of news. Where to start? Where to start? Halloween is here, so I'm pretty sure you're all
yes.
excited for that. Oh, wow. And I think this Halloween, like it has so much pretext behind it because just a lot of amazing movies have started screening just
Yeah,
towards Halloween.
I know.
I know, like recently I was watching The Nun and I was like, it's not actually bad. The Nun 2.
I expected it to be very bad.
I went there with this big expectation. I was like, well, it can't be as bad as. Okay, I'm not saying it's bad, but when it comes to the Conjuring universe,
You did. You did say that.
but
You couldn't say
it's
things.
way better than the first, but it's way better than the first one. So that sort of like kicked my Halloween, sort of spirit, and I was like, yes, Halloween is here. So that's why I reached out. Like, we need to do something. So
Mm,
it comes to what the Horror Fan Club is planning. First of all, uh, good news, we're working with Nikon, which is a very major one of the major comic conventions in Kenya.
conventions, yes.
It's a major convention happening in Nairobi on November the 16th,
Mm,
and they were so gracious to like ask us to be part of them. So it will be so
oh, I
nice.
wish I could be there.
I
Is it
know.
November?
November 19th, if my dates are correct.
Maybe, maybe I'm in time. We're not that far away.
Yes.
You're just underneath me. That would be so cool.
I
You know,
know.
if if you scared the hyenas away from me, I'm happy with that.
Oh my God. Like, that was so funny. Like, every time nowadays I see any meme about hyenas in Kenya, I'm like, Mar, look at this. I was actually thinking of making our 13 nights of Halloween podcast about like such funny stories. I want like sort of to make this season to be more about like horror comedy, like just funny experiences to have had in horror, like maybe hyenas.
Yes. Well, I also have to give credit to your lions because I remember in one of the videos that we made
Uh-huh.
that I asked you, these kind of things that they say in the
Yeah.
documentaries, that if you have a lion in front of you, you have to run, you don't have to run, you have to put something in your
Uh-huh.
head, like you have to do
Yeah.
something. And you said like, if you have a lion in front of you and he's hungry, you're done.
Yeah.
So just give away life.
Just
Give up.
oh my God, you even reminded me something else that happened in Kenya recently. So, our president, I hope I don't get cancelled for this, but there was this meme trending that our president made a joke that when you come to Kenya, you'll find lions in the ocean, swimming in the ocean. And actually, some
No,
tourists fell for it. So you'd see like a lot of tourists came to like the coastal areas of Kenya and they were taking selfies,
no,
like, where are the lions? I'm like, did you really believe lions could swim?
really?
No,
Really?
it was a major thing. Yes, I don't know if I can check it.
Oh my
I'll
God.
send you a link for that. I think a couple of months
Please.
ago. Oh my gosh. But anyway, yeah, that's that.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. So maybe those are some of the stories we would like to put in our 13 Nights of Halloween podcast starting next month. So yeah, that's something also to look forward to. Ooh, and also
Yes.
another mention. Never Ending Film Festival. I don't know if you know them. They're on Instagram. They're like this
Uh-huh.
movie reviewers thing. I don't know their
Mm-hmm.
title per se, but they also reached out and they're like, we gave our reviews for like our recommendation of like horror that we people should.
That's awesome.
I know I don't want to give a spoiler on what we recommended here, but it's amazing and it's Japanese. That's all I can say. It's Japanese horror.
Ah,
It's actually
you'll tell me later. You'll tell me later.
yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just a fan of Japanese horror, and Kenyan horror. There are actually like really amazing horror from Kenya, short films that happened this year. Um, I think some of them. I'll send you a link to one recent one that I really enjoyed, and I think
Yes.
the horror community in Kenya, the horror scene in Kenya has really grown, especially this year.
Mm-hmm.
Even like the amount of like horror short films we're seeing, and also content based of horror, the horror genre in terms of like comic books and illustrations. Like it's so
Mm.
amazing, even from our members. Like it's so heartwarming to see people just starting to embrace, horror again.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow, that's awesome. You have a lot of things going on.
I know, and so little time. It's like when after August, just Halloween just starts coming in. A lot of things start happening, so it's just
I
something.
know.
Yeah. Um,
Uh,
what else are we doing? Uh,
Halloween always runs me over. Always, every time. When I realize, boom, it's Halloween. You
yeah,
know, like, yeah, right? It's like all year you're waiting and waiting and waiting, and suddenly, boom, it's here. So,
Halloween.
yeah, it's.
People are just in your inbox. They're like, okay, what are you planning for Halloween? I'm like, what? It's like September. Yeah, what are you planning? What are you doing? So, like, even up at I don't know what to plan. I'll be honest, I don't know what to plan for 31st for the club. I don't know if I'm spoiled for choice or I'm just looking for things to do. I don't know. Last time we did a marathon, it
Mm.
went well. Now we got this other new space, but I'm like, people maybe want something new. I don't know. Ah,
But didn't you go camping or something? Was that for Halloween?
no, that's a nice idea, but that wasn't for Halloween. The camping one
You're
was.
welcome.
No, we haven't done that in a while. That was for like celebrations. I think we went as a club, but that is something we can do.
Ah, okay, okay. Because I remember because I thought that's so cool. I would love to do that. That's why I remember. I don't know why I thought you had done that for Halloween.
Yeah, but that is something now I think we can put up for Halloween. Camping, that's a good idea. Ma, we should pay you for that idea. Thank you very much.
I want the credits.
Oh my gosh, I'll run it through the club. See, so plan. Hopefully, no hyenas will get us this time.
Don't worry, I have a pot and a spoon.
And these tiny jerry cans that people beat when they see. Actually, that actually does work, but I think it works for elephants. Don't do their laugh.
You're the only person in the world I could be having this conversation with. Like, I have a pot and a spoon. That was for elephants.
Actually, certain communities, even till today in Kenya, that are still being
Yeah.
ravaged by elephants.
Yes.
And eat their maize or corn and their plants. So what they would do when they hear them coming, they would go with like huge jerry cans of, these jerry cans of water. You know them,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
big pots, and then they would start banging on them and making loud noise and screaming so that the elephant. Because that actually does happen. I kid you not, it does.
It's
Huge.
so funny because here you think of the fields, people that have farms and
Uh-huh.
fields, and the worst thing that can happen is that it doesn't rain for a week. You know, like that's the most exciting thing that happens in a field.
What?
You know, and you're like, yeah. take the spoon and the pot. There's a hyena, you know, and everyone. And I'll take the bomb. There's come elephants that way. You know, it's like having a field in your country. It's like living a war. That's so awesome.
I think in Kenya you just have to be ready for anything. You never know. Like you remember the lions we saw in the city. Like just
yeah.
It's so
wow.
Especially because I think Nairobi is the only city that has a national park inside it. So I think that's why you
okay.
some of these crazy stories, and it's fun. It's fun. It's good to...
Because you're that tall.
we try.
Yeah, but the funny thing is that in another of our videos, because I remember what you say, I have auditive memory. You said we're talking about Australia, remember? And you said, "Oh my God, Australia! Everything wants to kill you there." I was thinking, and you live in Kenya. I have the right to say that, not you. You have elephants eating your corn.
No, our threats are much bigger in scale, but Australia is just another world. I don't know.
You see a hyena and you say, "Take the spoon." You know?
Take the cup. Let's do this. I think you should just Google random things that happen especially in Nairobi. It will just blow your mind. Oh, it's such a in Kenya.
Well, whenever I come to see you there, I will have a spoon and a pot on my luggage. They're gonna stop me in all customs. Like
they were like, "Come, why do you have spoons?" I'm like,
why? Can you explain this?
For security purposes. For security purposes. Oh my gosh.
Okay. We're supposed to talk about horror.
I dived into today's live just wanting to have fun and talking about random.
It had been too long. Had been so long.
I know. But finally we'll get back into this and be doing them more often with more serious topics.
Yes. No, we won't.
No.
we can never be serious.
No, you're always so serious with other people. I'm like, I should one day come here very seriously. I'm like, yeah. So I want to talk about horror. And yes, horror in Kenya. I'm not mentioning anybody, but there's some people in your lives. Yeah, you see. And then I usually see you there on the side. You're like, I'm like, like. Not you can never be me.
I can never lie to you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I pretend to be serious.
I see. I want to catch you one day in your life and just make a stupid comment at the bottom, like I see.
Yes.
I'm like, hyenas behind you, Mar.
I will speak my coffee.
Oh my god. Anyway, this
okay.
Just to catch up and getting to know what people are do, and
yes.
It's so amazing. What are you up to this Halloween? What are you doing this Halloween?
I have no idea. Can I come with you?
Are you like? I think Halloween is one of.
No.
It's one of those holidays. It just happens. You never apply. It's not like Christmas or Easter. When it comes, you just feel what you want to do and do it on Halloween.
Yes. Even more, I think, for us, that we organize things. We have these projects and the people we work with, you have the club, everything. It's like you are focused on the things you are planning for everyone and for the website and for everything. But then you don't think of yourself. Like, what am I actually going to do?
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. Yes.
And sometimes,
I don't know.
Sometimes even Halloween just passes and they're like, what did I do? Nothing. That's why I was even considering, like, maybe this Halloween I'll just attend events and just be part of the masses. But then people just start calling me and they're like, you need to do something. I'm like, okay, I'll do it.
You can never be part of the masses.
I do want to be so bad. Like, oh my gosh, if it wasn't for my club members, I'd just be just celebrating Halloween like I used to.
Yeah.
Just, yay. But hopefully this time we'll see maybe good events in Kenya. Hopefully, there was a time.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I want to see. Does Spain have a haunted house? Like sort of, no.
No, it sucks.
No,
That will happen in a year.
I usually see in some.
No,
Mm.
no, because Halloween here, it's like, I mean, it's not absorbed. You know, it's like something that schools celebrate to use the English subject. You know, like let's draw some ghosts kind of thing. And yeah, some neighborhoods organize for the kids to be able to do some trick, but they have to organize. Like they have an actual list of the houses where they can knock, because here people will be like, what, you want what, you know, like that. It's not a thing.
Yeah.
It's not a thing because we have carnival in February, and that's a huge thing here. Yes, it's a pagan kind of between solstices of winter and spring and all of that. And that's a huge thing. That is very similar to Halloween, actually, because it's terrifying. Like all the do you know this kind of how you call it, this Italian mask, this Venice mask, the bird kind of mask, and it's I mean it's really creepy. Actually, there's a look. This is you're going to be interested in this. When I was a kid and we were fearful and things were like, I don't know how we're alive. We have when we start carnival here, there's a character, okay, that it's like the schools make this kind of dummy. It's like a person, but it's like deformed with masks. It's really convenient for a school, and they put it in the entrance of the school, and they make kids believe that thing actually moves. Like teachers move it when kids are not, like he's alive, you know, when they are not watching.
Yeah.
And welcome to Spain. and and during that week, he tells kids to do things like they receive a note every classroom, like tomorrow you have to all come dressed with your pajama. On Tuesday, like they have to do different funny things, and at the end of the week, it's when carnival starts, and then they have all the parades and all the crazy stuff happening everywhere in Spain. But in my times, like 1,000 years ago, we burn it in the yard of the school.
What?
Like we actually carried this guy to the middle of the yard, because we celebrate with fire, because we Spanish like fire a lot. We celebrate everything with fire. And we made like people brought things, I guess, that they wanted to get rid of, like a kind of pile where they burn the witches. It's like burning a witch, you know?
That was what I was thinking.
Yes, and that's what we did at the school when I was a kid. And that was the beginning of carnival. Yes.
That is intriguing. That is. I wish I was there. I want to. Oh, that is so nice. Oh my God.
Now they just make him disappear. Now they just say that this guy just left the school. You know, it's not that fun now, because now there's all these security rules. They just don't have fun anymore.
I think nowadays generation are just too soft. They're not. Why? Just
put a bit of fire on your life.
Like nowadays kids are very, I don't know how to put it, but even when you watch like some certain horror movies, they're just so toned down and just so plain. You know, and
decaffeinated.
Yeah, and I think the society is headed towards that direction. I think even that's the same case here in Kenya. I mean, a lot of stuff is being censored, especially when it comes to like content. like mainstream content, TV, like a lot of stuff is being censored, and so like a lot of people are just looking for other like social media platforms just to share their content and do their thing.
Yeah.
Like there's this time, was it? I don't know if I told you this story. It was on Halloween. It was a certain Halloween, and we had sort of like a partnership with a cake cafe. And so
Mm-hmm.
these people had put just even not even like the scary kind of decoration. They had like cutouts of a skeleton, cartoon skeleton put on them.
Yes, yes.
Spiders hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when we were at the event, because it's more of like a walk-in cafe, you can have your
Mm-hmm.
cake or your coffee there and then leave. So this guy, the delivery guy, he's a bit old. He's maybe 40, 30, 40 there. So
Mm-hmm.
he's been sent to come pick a cake at the shop. So when he gets to the entrance of the shop, he sees the cutout of the skeleton on the door that he's supposed to
Yes.
go through. So he's like, this is the devil. This is satanic. I am not. He even actually called the
Boo boo.
lady. Yeah, he called the lady who sent him there. He was like, I cannot pick your cake because this establishment it doesn't feel right. And I was like, just enter it. It will no, if I touch. He was so superstitious. I was like, wow, some people are really different. I was like, and truth is,
Yes.
he didn't even get in. He didn't take the order. He said he doesn't even want to be associated with that. So I was like, it's just a celebration. It's Halloween. Like, no, no. The spiders, the skeletons, the skulls, and that.
Yeah. It's funny because when you think of African folklore, it's terrifying.
It's
Like,
exactly.
right? So,
and
yeah.
and it's terrifying to maybe it's actually some I think most of African folklore, Kenyan, let me just say Kenyan folklore, most of it
Yes.
wasn't meant to terrify us per se, but sort of like teach us a lesson. I remember there's this
But it
one.
does.
Yeah, yeah. uh, some of it was even like translated into books. And I think this was my best. Let me just see if I can find it. uh,
Sure.
and oh God. So there's this book that I really loved. I don't know, my tablet, you can see it. And mind you, we were being taught this in, I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you can see it. There.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, I see it.
it's
Yes.
flipped. Yeah. So actually, this is one of the most amazing. Let me just speak about it in very briefly. It's about a Maasai,
Of course.
A Maasai,
Yes.
a Maasai young boy whose village is terrorized by this um ogre with three eyes and three hands, two here and one at the belly. So it has been
Okay.
terrorizing this village. They try to kill it, they cannot. Every time it comes, it sort of like picks animals, and then it got to a point it even started picking people from the village and eating them. And then this guy, sort of like David and Goliath kind of story, he was like, he tried piercing it, it won't die, it won't die. So he knew that the ogre had to have a weakness. So
Yeah.
he took his spear and thrust it into the eye at the middle of its head, and just like that,
Okay.
it died. And then I don't know if I remember it correctly, but the people the ogre had eaten started coming out from its body after
Okay.
it died. The animals returned to the village, and I was like, what was
How
the
pretty.
moral? What was the moral of that story? It was purely to terrify us. And clearly there's no moral there. It was like bravery and I was like, no, I don't see bravery there. That was, I
Yeah,
think,
so some morals are being hidden
yes.
in the
Some,
stories. Yes.
and I think you just have to infer them as a kid, especially when it comes to like African horror. There's a lot of indirect messaging when it comes to our folk tales. Like it has to suit whatever you're going through or whatever your parents or the person that is telling
Yeah.
you. It has to
Yeah.
fit what they want you to do or not to do. So yeah, that's why sometimes like we have
Yeah.
very different versions of like African folklore, and you can see this is a new show on Netflix called African Folktales. Really amazing. It has different
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I'm going to write that down.
Um, let me
Okay.
African folk.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah, it has. I think it's how many episodes? Let me see. The
Let's see.
Netflix. Yeah, 6 stories.
That's awesome.
This is how it looks.
Okay.
I don't know if you can say it. There it is.
Wow, it actually looks awesome.
Yes, it is. It has different.
And you didn't tell me anything about this. I would have watched it.
Because here's my
because
my 2 pennies of criticism. I love the fact.
Okay.
Oh, my light went off. Why?
I see you. Don't worry.
It will come back. So it's basically 6 stories. Each story is being told by a different country, and Kenya is one of the stories. And they chose to pick a story from the coastal region. What I liked about them is the whole idea, the whole concept of it. I liked it, but what I really did not like was maybe just a little bit of the execution in itself. I felt like they had better. They could have just gone a little better with the graphics, the production.
Okay.
Yeah, it felt like, I don't know if you've watched those Nigerian movies that of demons and stuff. It just felt like a higher version of higher quality of that. Like it just has the same sort of the way not white people, but the way foreigners depict African African folk tales. So to me, it felt a bit whitewashed. Whitewashed is what I felt it's having such a feel. It felt it was like any other random like Hollywood production. It didn't feel African-ish to me. Oh, but I really loved the concept, and the stories were just amazing. They were told accurately, but there's better content we can find elsewhere that is told more African, in a more African way. And I think that in Kenya, the institution that is really helping us with like African content and pushing it out there to the rest of the world is the French Embassy. French Embassy is doing like a lot of research when it comes to our folk tales. Actually, they were in the previous season for 13 Nights of Halloween. They're the ones who some of the stories that I was speaking about, and they just do their research and they are very good at it. So yeah, that's what I had to say. I don't want this live to run for so long.
No, why? No, it's very interesting because actually I think that it's too bad that there's not like someone doing something really cool with African horror. Because honestly, I mean, I found it terrifying, even more because it's not the average kind of horror. Yes. You know, it's not like the average witch, like witches. Yes. Yeah, wait for the African witches. You don't want to mess with an African witch. You know, like it's like that, the witch and the broom and the cat. Oh, how lovely! No, they are terrifying. You know, and I think that someone could, maybe throwing it there. Maybe you could.
No pressure.
I'm just saying, no pressure. But you could be a pioneer. No, but it's true. I mean, who else, right? Because you know it, like you know the vision from outside that it's false, like for tourists, as a movie for tourists, right? So, you could do something really cool with like, because you know the culture from within, right? And you know also the tourist part, like you know how these two things. Like, how would you terrify a tourist with African folklore? That's what I mean, you know? Like, because people are so how you call it, that they don't believe in these things, that they don't like, this is just a pile of bones, these kind of things.
Yeah.
But do you know these kind of movies where there's a moment where they switch because they realize that something can actually be real? So with African folklore, you could do something amazing with that.
I know. Yes, that is so true, 100%. And that is the goal. That is the goal. Actually, it's how can I
You could take Byron with you.
Sorry? Byron. Oh.
Byron. But I'm sorry, but Byron, with his voice and his blackness, he could make a terrifying whatever you call. How is it? A witch? How is it in man? A witch and a what? How do you call it? Or are they witches too?
No.
If it's a man.
If it's a man, I think they're warlords. No, are they warlords? Which they can be good.
I opened a thread here. Or how is it in your language? How do you call it?
That for us, they are just considered all witches. Like
it's all witches.
Yeah, but I do.
Because we say the same. We say bruja y brujo. It's the same.
Yeah.
So
for us, we say UMCHAWI. So I think it's more or less the same. But in English,
UMCHAWI, like with an N, UMCHAWI.
M for Mar.
M.
Yes, M, and then UMCHAWI.
UMCHAWI.
And actually, they still are. Yeah, UMCHAWI. MCHA.
I'm gonna write that down too.
MCHAWI.
A W.
Yeah.
Almost. Look, I had written it like that. Look. Well, it's back. It's backwards now. UMCHAWI?
Yeah, UMCHAWI. Not a V, a W.
W.
Yes.
Almost, huh?
Yes.
Almost.
Yes.
Yes. Actually, because it's funny, because I would love to. I don't know your language, but it's pronounced like mine. Like we pronounce the sounds just the same, you know? So it's, yes. So it's that's why, because in English the sounds are different, but your language and mine, the sounds are the same.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! And interesting fact: the UMCHAWIs, the UMCHAWIs, plural, they still are there till today. Like they still exist.
I remember you told me about someone in a fire in a house that they wanted to burn. Well, what was that story you told me? That crazy story. You told me about a witch that it happened like not long ago. Like there was a witch in the house, or that people thought she was a witch and they wanted to burn her in the house or something like that. You told me a crazy story like that happened, because you said the same. They still exist, and you explained this example to me about something that had happened, that people thought that a certain woman was a witch and they wanted to burn her inside a house because they thought that she was doing something. So I remember that.
Oh my God. we have a lot of these instances. Maybe it's just getting swallowed up by majority of them, but I'm pretty sure that.
But that's so interesting. I mean, wow, right?
Even the most recent one I heard was earlier on this year. Some people were, for political reasons, we had some political unrest, and some people went to a supermarket and were looting the supermarket. So they stole stuff from the supermarket. So what this person did, he went to UMCHAWI.
Yes.
And then he sort of placed, I don't know if I can call it a spell or a curse on the people who stole. And the next day, I kid you not, it was even in the news and it was trending all over TikTok. People came back with whatever they had stolen to that place and surrendered themselves. They're like, here's my stuff. And it was so, yes. And I was like, it works. Scientifically, I'm more skeptical when it comes to science, but I'm like, how? Some people even hear of
No,
them like,
I'm not. I'm not skeptical at all with these things. I mean, this is scary and it works. I mean, but
that,
in your culture,
yeah,
it's very rooted. You know,
yeah.
like it looks like you haven't lost that,
Yes,
right?
we haven't at all. Like, not even at all in the slightest. I even sometimes people tell me these stories, and I'm like, that is the lie. Like, for instance, how can you just
Yeah.
steal maybe something like this jar, and then someone places a curse on you, and then you can't let it go? Like, that is one of like the most common types of curses in when it comes
Yes.
to the UMCHAWI.
Yes.
So I'm like, I want to see it for myself, and they're like, if you see it for yourself, you will be placed in the same, spell or curse. And I'm like, part of me, the scared part of me is like,
Mm.
no, I don't want, it might be true and I don't want to be part of it. So I'm like,
Yes, no, but look, actually, what this that you say,
uh-huh.
in because I've read all these books about all the exorcists and the Vatican, there's a Catholic exorcist and the Father Amorth, all of these important exorcists, because I'm a freak like that, and I read these things. And one of the things that they always say, because they are from different parts of the world, like they have nothing to be between them. They are just every how you call it parish. No, I don't have the term in English. Like every part of the Catholic communities, they have one. Like there's a bishop and a exorcist in every. I have the name in my language, but I don't remember in English. So. It's okay. The thing is that there are plenty of them. Okay, so they have nothing to be. Some of them are from 200 years ago. Like I've read any kind of material, and they all come down to the same from their own experience. And one of the things they say when someone calls, like they go through a very exhaustive analysis before they believe that someone has a demonic kind of problem, because it's like 0.1% of the people actually have a problem, right? And when they go, like, for example, things happen in a house, and they go to a house, the first thing they said is, what are the last things you purchased?
What?
Because yes, because a lot of times it's you got something that it's cursed and it's in your house. Like you go to whatever place and you buy something that is secondhand, or it's most of the times they are African. Like they have this kind of curses. Like it really has nothing to do with Catholic stuff. Like it's one of these kind of I don't know how you call it, this kind of statues that they're like a little soldier,
Oh, like,
that is made of wood, all of it.
uh-huh.
That
Yes.
they have like feathers or some kind of fabric, and it's like a little soldier,
Yes.
This kind of wooden
Yeah.
things, when people buy them, some of them are cursed because they don't know where they come from. I mean, maybe 200 years ago, someone cursed that because of a reason, and that piece of whatever it is, art,
Uh-huh.
goes around just cursing homes. Like one purchased it, and with the Exorcist is one of the things that they say, like, what? Okay, when did the paranormal stuff started? Here, okay. Then here from now, what have you purchased? You know,
Mm.
and they go thing by thing to the things that they have purchased, and sometimes just removing one thing that they find suspicious, then everything stops. So that's 100% true. The thing that they can just curse something. Maybe it's not everything. I don't know how that works. I don't want to know. Like, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm not calling everything. I'm okay. I don't need to know. But that's very interesting, because it's exactly what you say, that they can just take something and curse it forever.
Yes, and that's what is freaking me out about that is like one of Kenya's like maybe sort of popular ornaments or souvenirs, even just for locals and also foreigners, are those kind of wooden statues, tiny little golems, and
Yes,
actually,
yes.
and you just see tourists just going to the market and buying it without even actually maybe thinking about, okay, who created this. And
Exactly.
sometimes most of most of the times those things are created by, I don't want to be stereotypical, but are created by a certain tribe in Kenya that is known to have a lot of UMCHAWI. So I'm like,
Exactly.
I'll be thinking
Yes,
twice.
actually, I think that in a book, that you made me think of this. In a book of these people, exorcist people, I read that there was in a moment they had to deal with a bunch of these things that were cursed, and people were just purchasing them.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with you, but you're taking home what you say, exactly what you said. You're taking home a cursed thing, you know?
Yes.
So it's that's terrifying to think. Like I would never do, like knowing everything that I know right now, I would never do it. Like I love it, but I love it there.
What?
I feel loving, you know. Yeah, it's amazing, and it can actually happen with anything. But it looks like in your country, well, culture. I don't know what's the right, like in this kind of folklore, it's not typical, but it's practice
Yeah.
to curse these kind of objects, right? And it's so real. And actually, that's what they say when they advise people, because they make these conferences advising people about one thing or another, and they say when suddenly something starts happening to you or in your house, think the last things you brought in, because many times it's an object, a lot of times it's an object. So it's so cool, right?
I'll have a checklist of now everything that I've bought. I'll be like, maybe maybe I'm not getting my promotion because I bought an ornament somewhere. I'm like, But it's so crazy how nowadays people just never have like these deep thoughts. Like before, in the olden days, it was I think people used to, like you said, people had that foresight of maybe something in your life changed because of something else. Nowadays, people just do things. People buy things for that would freak you out very, very much. Oh my God.
That's awesome to think. And you have a lot of material there. Like, imagine what kind of movie or series or whatever you could do based on that.
Exactly. Oh, that is so true. But Mar, the media industry here is just something else. It is an uphill task.
Well, but it doesn't mean maybe you can do something and I don't know and sell it in the US.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm just of course there are other platforms, other options. So that is something we're building towards. So that's not a problem.
Do you know what you could do?
Yes, oh my God.
You could make.
You almost scared me. I was like, what?
You could make something on socials. Like, why don't you do it like on your TikTok, for example? You could like design some kind of series based on that and make very short videos and make a kind of series on social media. Like on TikTok, on Reels, you know, like TikTok allows you up to 10 minutes. That's a lot. That's a lot. And you could make it, you could say, take Byron. Byron has a UMCHAWI 1,000,000% face.
I'm sure when Byron sees this, he's going to be like, you are talking about me when I was not around.
But, right, and you could, but that can actually work because people can follow you, they can watch it, and if it's successful, then you can make like an actual big thing, and there you go, you can sell it.
Thank you. I think we were already aiming too high, and I think.
Why not? No, you just have to aim high, always. You aim high, always.
Of course.
Always.
But now seeing it from this perspective, I think that would also work. Because we already even have the content. Like our web series is already there, so I mean it's a good place to start. Yeah, so that's a good thing.
I mean, you have it at your hand. Like you have all this knowledge, all this folklore, all these amazing people you work with, and that would be really cool.
Yes,
because you can actually make Yes, you can actually make a short video out of any kind of little idea you have. And
Yes.
if you give them all the same aura, you know, like you choose one kind of saturation, like, oh, I know. Maybe you could you could make it like, for example, let's say you want people to recognize it. Maybe you could make like black and white and just red things, just the saturation on red very high. So when people see, they recognize that it's one of your African horror stories, you know, kind of Sin City kind of thing. You know, I don't know. You could really do something like that. That would be really cool. I'm
I'm already
inspired.
picturing. I'm picturing it in my head already. Like, Lawrence, tomorrow, camera to the sea or to the forest. I have motivation.
Bring the hyenas.
Bring the hyenas. Where are you? We need content. You'd see me jumping over the parks and be like, "You come here." Chasing down hyenas. They're like, "No, I don't want to be. You are crazy." I'm like, content.
With the spoon.
With a spoon. I'm
Running
like,
with the spoon.
I'm like, hold up, hyena, take two. You had no motivation. You had no motivation there. Oh my gosh, Mar. With that, we can talk. We can talk forever. Oh my gosh.
That's our problem.
Yeah. Oh, it's almost an hour's time. I think we can just wrap it up.
Okay. Hi.
Thank you so much. For those of you who are joining, or who joined and will view this, we will be doing this every Saturday till Halloween.
Yes.
So, yes. Next time we will have more serious topics. Yes. More next time. No, just. But it is not guaranteed.
When I post this video, I'll post this video and when we are all laughing like that. No one of us is in camera.
They're like, where are these people? All right. So, thank you, Umar. It's always just a pleasure being with you. It's going to be a long road to Halloween. Clearly, I can tell.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, thank you for watching, and thank you, Ma, for being here. And
thank you. Thank you for having me.
Let us do this. Look forward to our web podcast series, and our also web series as well, and also what activities we're going to be doing at Nikon and other collaborators we have, such as Never Ending Film. So yes, I think that is it. Mar, thank you so much again. Anything you want to say?
Thank you. No, that I want to keep doing this because we have and people need to join us because we have lots of fun and we talk about very cool things that maybe we're not supposed to talk about, but it's okay.
Yeah.
we're summoning the UMCHAWIs.
We hope we don't get cancelled for that. Maybe someone will go reporting these people. They're talking about taboos. But
well, we're honoring.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Thank you, Mom. Have a lovely.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. We are always in touch on our social media, especially on TikTok.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Exactly. Yes.
All right. So
okay.
Have a lovely day. Bye, Mar. Take care.
Bye.
All right.